No one on Earth could have imagined that a single archaeological excavation would mark the beginning of humanity's collapse. Deep beneath forgotten sands, what was believed to be a long-buried ruin turned out to be an ancient seal, one that should never have been disturbed. The moment it was broken, something unseen was released into the world, and nothing could stop it. From underground chambers older than recorded history, a strange crimson mist began to rise. It was thick, heavy, and red like flowing blood. At first, it appeared in only a few places, creeping silently through streets and alleyways. Within hours, it spread to entire cities. Within days, it covered the world. Humans who inhaled the mist could not survive its effects. Their bodies failed to adapt, their minds twisted into madness. Some laughed uncontrollably, others screamed in terror, and many turned violently on the people around them. In the end, they all met the same fate: agonizing, brutal death. But humanity was not the only life form affected. Animals, insects, and other living creatures reacted differently. Their bodies mutated instead of collapsing. Limbs elongated, eyes multiplied, wings tore through flesh, and bones reshaped themselves into horrifying forms. Along with these transformations came unnatural powers, strength, speed, and abilities far beyond what should have been possible. These monsters became known as aberrations. Wherever aberrations appeared, civilization crumbled. Cities were reduced to ruins. Streets burned. Buildings collapsed. Fear spread faster than the mist itself, consuming the hearts of survivors. Governments panicked. Emergency broadcasts flooded the airwaves. Missiles were launched in desperate attempts to contain the chaos. Explosions shook cities, and thick clouds of smoke and dust blotted out the sky. But no weapon could erase the nightmare that had been unleashed. Among the wreckage of a destroyed city, a lone figure wandered through the ruins. His body looked barely alive, his movements slow and unsteady, as if every step required immense effort. One of his arms had transformed into a grotesque claw, resembling those of the aberrations he fought. Yet his eyes still held something unmistakably human: desperation. He was searching for someone. Moving through shattered buildings and broken streets, he called out a name again and again. Ch-1. Wolf-like aberrations soon emerged from the mist, their eyes glowing with predatory intent. Without hesitation, the man attacked. His claw tore through flesh and bone, dropping the creatures one by one. When the battle ended, his breathing became ragged, his body trembling from exhaustion. Still, he refused to stop. He continued forward, stepping over rubble and corpses alike, driven by a single thought. Then he saw it. A small doll lay half buried in the debris. His steps slowed. Memories rushed back. Warm laughter, a small hand holding its finger, a familiar smile. Thoughts of Ch-1 overwhelmed him. He rushed forward and reached for the doll with his clawed hand, only to freeze midway. Slowly, painfully, the claw transformed back into a normal human hand. He picked up the doll with trembling fingers. Tears fell silently onto the cracked ground. At that moment, nothing else mattered. He only wanted one answer. Where was she? 3 days earlier, the world had still seemed normal. News reports spoke of a mysterious crimson mist appearing in several locations. Authorities urged the public to remain calm, insisting it was under control. People were told to stay indoors and avoid unnecessary travel. During that time, a family was driving through the city. The father was behind the wheel, the mother seated beside him. In the back seat, a young boy and his little sister slept peacefully, unaware of the disaster closing in. Suddenly, military personnel surrounded their car, banging on the windows and shouting orders to move immediately. The father muttered angrily about politicians and lies. The sudden noise woke the children. The girl clutched her brother's arm and whispered that she was scared. He held her hand and told her everything would be fine. Then came the explosion. The sound was deafening. The boy instinctively shielded his sister as chaos erupted around them. A vehicle crashed down onto their car, crushing it from above. Metal twisted, glass shattered. The father groaned in pain, his leg trapped. The mother coughed violently, struggling to breathe. Outside, screams echoed through the streets. People were running, fleeing from something unseen. Then they saw it. An aberration rampaged through the road, attacking anyone in its path. The father shouted for the children to escape. The boy kicked open the door and climbed out, immediately trying to free his parents. The mother's door wouldn't move. She begged him to take his sister and run. He refused, unwilling to abandon them. But the aberration was getting closer. With tears in their eyes, the parents reminded him of his responsibility. He was the older brother. He had to protect his sister.
Entrusting Xiao to his care, they forced him to leave. Another explosion tore through the street. The aberration leapt toward the car. Xiao screamed for her parents as the monster turned its attention toward them. The boy grabbed his sister and ran. The city fell into absolute chaos. Flying aberrations tore military aircraft from the sky. People mutated before their eyes. Animals lost all control. Crimson mist swallowed the streets whole. They hid inside a supermarket, barely breathing. When a wolf-like aberration finally left the area, relief washed over the boy, only for it to vanish moments later when his sister collapsed. She clutched her head, saying she felt unwell. Looking into a nearby mirror, the boy saw strange lines forming on their faces. He understood immediately. It was the mist. He soaked a cloth with water and covered her mouth and nose, hoping it would help. Then pain exploded inside his own body. A burning sensation surged through him, as if something was trying to break free. When his sister asked if he was okay, he lied, forcing a smile while his hands trembled uncontrollably. The aberration sensed him. They ran, but their escape was blocked by a winged aberration. More monsters closed in from all sides. Above them, a massive red, dragon-like creature hovered in the sky. The boy held his sister tightly, bracing himself for the end. But this was not the end, because this boy was destined to become something more, and his story had only just begun.